Yes, ladies and gents, it's Tom here once again for the West Ham Faithful with another review show, a Faithful review show. And today we've got Fulham. We're going to be going over everything that happened during the game and giving my player rating shows. Before I start, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you get notified when I next upload a video. Um, yeah, I'm grateful for everyone who's subscribed to my channel so far, and I'm grateful to everyone who's followed me on Twitter over the past few days. We've finally hit 1K, and I'm on 65 subscribers. I know it's little, but yeah, we're on the march to 100, I suppose. Yeah, I'm a little bit close to the camera. Right, let's. Before I start, I'm going to say this. Who said the score was going to be 3-1 today? It was me. Yeah, I know. If you don't believe me, check my video out from yesterday. Actually, if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, what are you doing here? Go to my video from yesterday, watch that, and then come back here and watch this. Yeah, just thumbs up. Have some of that from me. But yeah, every little helps. Help the channel, help me. Well, it don't help me. It just gives me a little bit more motivation to do these videos. But let's start off with the preview. 5 minutes in, West Ham did not start off very well at all. We seemed to start very slow once again. Seems to be a habit nearly every game we've played. We start off the worst and on the back foot from the get-go. I don't know what it is, but Moyes, it seems to... He needs to sort out his team talk before the start of the game, because whatever he does at half time sorts the players right out. But it's the preparation before the game that's the problem. It seems like the players are always a bit shaky at the start of the game. Anyway, 5 minutes in, Andreas Pereira finds himself in a lot of space, goes out a bit too wide for a striker's liking, and lets fire. And it goes straight into the top corner. And Fabianski, whatever you want to call him, poor. Should have at least parried it over the bar. But yeah, no, I didn't. This is the reason why everyone's calling for Areola to start over him. As I said the other day, I think it will cause a big mistake for Fabianski, or for him to get injured before Areola gets brought into the Premier League starting lineup, which is a shame, but it is what it is, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. After that, it seemed to be all Fulham up until about the 20th minute, around about. Scamacca and Paqueta were linking up quite well. Scamacca had a few chances and got a few shots on target, but he should have scored realistically. And I think from one of them chances, we won a corner, and from that corner, this was the incident involving Andreas Pereira and Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson kept on trying to run into the box whenever the corner was about to be taken, and Andreas Pereira was man checking him. He did it once and he did it twice, and the referee told him, look, you do it again, it's going to be a foul in the box and you're going to give away a penalty. And he done it again. Craig Dawson goes down, the referee gives a pen, VAR looked over it, it was a pen. You're going to get warned. How many times do you have to get told before you fucking listen? So, Fulham fans, if you want to look why your game fell apart, it was from that stupid idiot. Now, he might have scored a decent goal to begin with, but he got us back into it. And when we got back into it, we had the momentum, and it seemed that way. After we scored that goal, I made notes saying that Souček and Rice were both poor so far. Kira was getting skinned by their left winger. And Paqueta was showing plenty of skill and playing well. Going it just before the half time, it seemed like Dawson and Pereira had unfinished business, and Pereira got taken out by Craig Dawson. He sent him flying. And it seems at the end of the first half as though Dawson had hurt himself during that tussle he had with Andres Pereira. And I for one thought it was going to be, well, he's going to get hooked off at half time. But let's go into my notes from half time. At half time, I was relatively happy. Wasn't happy with the way we started the game at all. But I was pleased with the way Scamacca and Paqueta were linking up. Dawson practically bought that pen. He might as well just give the ref some money and said, let me have that. Kira was, like I said a few moments ago, he was getting skinned left, right and centre. Now we skip forward to the second half. Scores 1-1. We're very much in it and we're very much on the front foot from the get-go. Paqueta has an opportunity on the edge of the area. Now I can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to catch the goalkeeper wrong-sided, but the shot was far too tame. It needed a lot more power. But anyway, compared to Benrahma's effort the other day, there was a lot more purpose to this. To everyone's surprise, Dawson did come back on the field in the second half. And spoiler alert, he played the old bloody game. Well done, Craigie, mate. Like, the geezer's invincible. He's a Terminator. He's an absolute Terminator. Well, in my notes, Paqueta started the second half very well. Scamacca kept on getting himself into good positions. He had an opportunity on the stroke of the 50th minute mark that he headed wide, which he really should have took advantage of. And at that moment in time, it should have been 2-1 to West Ham. But it was after that, it seemed like Fulham wanted to pull up their socks and give it a good go. They tried, definitely, after that incident with Scamacca. But one thing I will add is about 10 minutes into the second half, if my notes are written down, Kira was playing well. Now, in contrast to how he was playing in the first half, he was defensively a lot more solid. He was finding himself in good positions and his delivery into the box was very good. And that was just in the first 10 minutes. And he continued that way going on through the second half. But then the next incident was the Scamacca goal. Now, I'm not going to have no one tell me this was fucking handball. No way on earth. I think Scamacca thought he was offside. Let's go through the goal. Paqueta, pretty much identical, but a little bit more distance between it to the goal that we had against Anderlecht, where Paqueta loops the ball over the defence. Scamacca brings the ball down. Against Anderlecht, he placed it in, or smashed it into the bottom corner. This time he saw the goalkeeper rushing out. So he lobs him. Beautiful goal. Now, I thought it was offside. I thought there was something in it. But watching the replay, there was no way on earth that was offside. And during the build-up before he shoots, the way the ball bounces, some would say it looks like he might brush his arm, but it didn't look like it altered the way it was falling or it moved. It altered the way, altered its direction it was going. It didn't. The ball hitting his hand was clearly accidental. And if it did hit his hand, from the views that I was seeing, it didn't look like it hit his hand. But I don't know how you can give that if the ball bounces up and just, yeah, no, you can't say that's a handball, can you? That'd be very, very harsh. And it's funny because it's look at all the Fulham fans looking up fine margins. I saw someone say that Antonio's goal, which we'll get onto later on in the video, was worse than Scamacca's handball. And I was like, Scamacca's weren't a handball though. At all. Don't know what drugs you're smoking, mate, but can I have some? Anyway, moving on. Probably a poor joke. Whether that goes down well or not, let me know in the comments. I'm open to constructive criticism. But yeah, moving on to let me get my bearings. Now, I decided to write a little section on the crowds after that point, because at the start of the game, Fulham were making a lot of noise. They would have done. They didn't. The start of the game, they weren't like shouting. You didn't hear them left, right, and centre. You only heard them after they scored, really. And they were coming out with the usual chants from dickheads. You sold your soul for this shithole and all that. West Ham weren't as loud as you'd expect, probably because there's quite a lot of fans that went to the game on Thursday that had to miss this game. A lot of the hardcore, the proper West Ham fans that make all the noise. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of them ones. I'm a voice when I go up there. Unfortunately, I can't go up there as much as I'd like, but it's what it is. You've got a family and kids, haven't you? Anyway, we after we scored our goal and went 2-1 up. After that, Fulham fans were silent, and then the chants of "you only sing when you're winning" and "you're not singing anymore" were ringing around the stadium. They definitely weren't singing anymore, and it didn't seem like they were happy at all. On the 72nd minute, comment from me once again, commenting on Souček. Poor. Still very, very poor. 72 minutes into the game, still very poor. Absolute donkey. A minute later, Kearney had a very, very good shot blocked by Aaron Cresswell inside the box. Now, I must say, Cresswell's positioning and the way he blocked the ball was absolutely perfect. The ball went exactly where you wanted it to go away from the goal. He found himself in the right spot and threw his body at it. And you can't ask much more from a defence. And on the 76th minute, my comment was, no subject. Yeah, mate, no subs. 76 minutes. I know Divering Dave likes to take his time about making his subs, but fuck me, 76 minutes and not one sub. Fucking at least 4 now should have come off. Like, anyway, just after it, on the 80th minute, who comes on? Antonio for Scamacca. I think Emerson comes on for Paqueta just before. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he comes on for Emerson Emerson comes on for Paqueta just before or just after. I didn't write it down. Yeah, I know. Noobish move. Dickhead. But Antonio come on looking like he wanted to throw himself about a bit. He looked like he had a point to prove. And oh no, it was the 83rd minute. I did write it down. Paqueta off for Emerson. Switching to a back five on the 87th minute. Fulham start singing, "Come on, Fulham. Come on, Fulham." I'm so glad we don't have that chant. It's so fucking boring. She just went, "Come on, Fulham." Fucking such a tin pot club. Anyway, 90th minute, Antonio breaks, and in the build-up, it seems to have hit his hands. In my opinion, it did hit his hand. What I don't understand is the result of that outcome is West Ham score, Antonio scores, but I don't understand why VAR didn't get involved in it. Normally, anything to do with West Ham scoring a goal, VAR gets involved with. Now, there was a pretty, I wouldn't say it was an intentional handball, but it was a handball from Antonio on the build-up. He takes a shot, the goalkeeper saves, parries it out. The defender, maybe it was because it was the end of the attack, from the goalkeeper's save, so VAR can only judge from the next attack. I don't know. I don't work for VAR, but being fair, the result should have been 2-1. Antonio's goal should have been chalked off, but don't moan too much, Fulham fans, because you still would have lost the game. Simple as that. On the 91st minute, Downs comes on 4-4 now. It's the only thing we will say about that is Downs should have come on sooner, and he should have come on for fucking Souček. That fucking donkey. Right. That was my review of the game so far. Apologies for the ruffling papers. I'm trying to find my predictive lineup. My predictive lineup, my player ratings scores, So let's start off with Flapianski in goal. If it weren't for him, we would have had a clean sheet. And if it weren't for that mistake during the goal, him making that save, he would have got a higher score. Now, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to slate him too much. Because he did have a half-decent game. It weren't great. But at the end of the day, we won. So he gets a 6 from me. Now, let's move on to right back with Kira. I know I thought he was very poor in the first half, but he was not at fault for that first goal. He kept on getting skinned, but nothing came to it. But come the second half, he was very creative going forward. His positioning was good and his defending was very good. He definitely got told off at half time. I tell you that now. But based on, I would have given him a 6 if he had carried on playing the way he was playing, but didn't have a moment that conceded to a goal. But because he picked his socks up in the second half, I'm giving him a 7. Now, I'm going to go with Dawson, Zuma and Cresswell all at the same time. Because they all done relatively well. The only difference in score is Dawson, and Dawson gets an 8. Zuma and Cresswell were solid. They both had good games. Cresswell can offer more going forward, but didn't. But I'm not going to hold that against him. His legs are going, ain't they? Good old Cressy. But Zuma and Cress get a 7. Dawson gets an 8 from me. That's the defence done. Now, the centre defensive midfielders, Rice and Souček. I'm going to give Rice. I'm going to leave Souček for a second. Rice gets a 7 from me. He had an all-round game. His first half an hour was poor. But he started to pick up his socks. He pulled up his socks, shall I say. And stretching my legs out. I wouldn't say it was one of his best games. I wouldn't say it was a complete performance, but there was nothing you could really grumble about. He weren't shit. He was near enough non-existent in the first half an hour, but he came into the game. And for that reason, Russ gets a 7 from me. Now we're going on to Souček. Fucking donkey boy. I'm losing patience with this geezer. And do you know what? I'm starting to lose patience with the loyalty Moyes has for him, because he had the same loyalty for Sufal over playing Kira at right back. He was persistent. And it's going to take for us to have another dip in form before Souček gets dropped. I'm not asking for Souček to get dropped 4 downs. I'm asking for anyone to play in the centre of midfield that can pass the ball. Because Souček cannot play in a possession-based team. He's good when it's all hustle and bustle and physicality, but when it's intricate passes and tippy-tappy shit, which we've got the players to do now, he's shit. He can't do it. There was one instance in the second half where the ball comes to him, he was no one around him, and he just passed it back to their player. And it's just like, what are you doing? Fucking Frankenstein, sort it out, bruv. Like, I let you into a little secret. Made a video before I'd done this one, and I went absolutely skits when it comes to Souček. I'm trying to tone it down, because I don't want to be seen as one of them guys that goes nuts in front of a camera just to get views. I am who I am, do you know what I mean? There will come a day where you catch me pissed off. And Souček has pissed me off. but I'm still happy enough to keep a smile on my face because West Ham won. And if West Ham wins, you're a happy hammer, aren't you? You know what I mean? But Souček was dog shit. Paqueta, the Brazilian Magnifico. What can you say? The geezer's the bollocks, man. He's the bollocks. He gets himself stuck in. He's setting up chances left, right, and centre. And now him and Scamacca are gelling. They're just on the same wavelength. These two are a different class. They're amazing, amazing footballers. And I can't believe we've got the Cooper. We got the Cooper of the season getting these two. I don't care what anyone says. You can buy Bruno Ramirez. You can buy Erling Haaland. You lot ain't got Scamacca. And you lot ain't got Paqueta, mate. No, all jokes aside, not being serious. Everyone knows about Haaland, like. Right, let's move on to the attack. It's gone Bowen. I ain't really got too much to say about Bowen. Bowen had a half decent game, scored a goal from the penalty spot. Gets and 7 from me. 4-0s, moving on swiftly. Was good. It was half decent. Grew into the game. Was pretty much non-existent in the first half. Gets a 6. And Scamacca, the Italian stallion. What else can you say? The geezer's on fire. He can't stop scoring. That 3 goals, 3 games. Come on. What more? What form do you want from your striker? And to have Antonio, I know I dispute whether the goal should have been loud or not, but Antonio scored as well. So it's brilliant to have West Ham have 2 strikers. 2 fucking strikers scoring 1 game. 2 different strikers scoring 1 game. I'll get far too excited about that. Anyway. Yeah, so Scamacca joins Paqueta and Dawson for front runners for man of the match. Moving on to the substitutes. I'm going to quickly go through these. You've got Downs, who I'm going to give a 6 because he only had 4 minutes to play. Antonio, who gets a 7. Only reason why he gets a 7 is because he got his goal. He didn't really have much time to do much either. He did put himself out a bit. And Emerson gets a 6 from me because for a wing back to get higher ratings, he's got to put in loads of tackles, or he's got to set up an assist, or do you know what I mean? And he didn't. His job weren't to do any of that. His job was to tackle, but his job was to just try and shore up the defence, you know. So that's my player ratings. This has been eventful, emotional, whichever way you want to look at it. This has been a West Ham. This has been a faithful review. I am Tom. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until next time, well, probably later on in the week, I'm going to try and give like a news update show. I like doing them during the transfer window. Don't know if they're as credible now that no transfers can happen, but I'll just do a general news roundup. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for my next video. There will always be previews and reviews for every game. And until the next video, come on your irons. Have some of that. 3-1. Have it.